Morning, everybody. Wow, it's early. I know it's early and it's a holiday weekend, so sorry. May not have very many of you hopping on live with me this morning. So I'm going to take my time and get started. I want you to know I did this for you, people. I did this for you because so many people have written to me and said, where are you, Free Island Girl? Where are you? Please get on and show us your face and let us know you're okay. I'm like, I'm fine. Look, I'm perfectly fine. I have myself about to go out for a run, keep myself in shape. But I was taking a break, you guys. I was taking a break. Good morning, everybody. I see you hopping on. Hello. Yes, I'm back. Thank you. Say hello to me. Where are you joining me from? I'll tell you where I am in a minute. Not where you think. I'm in an undisclosed location. I'm getting away. It's summertime. You guys gotta have a vacation. I had to have a YouTube video vacation. So I've been enjoying time with my family. I do have a family. Greetings, greetings, everyone. Good morning. I'm here on this lovely front porch sipping tea. I'm a tea drinker. So you have a variety of teas because it's a huge mug. So I'm having some tea this morning. I'm about to go on a run because I've been away from my normal locale, my residence. So I haven't been going to the gym. NYC, I'm not far from you, homie. I'm not far. Good morning. Hola. Yeah, so I haven't been going to the gym because I've been away. Haven't seen my trainer. I'm doing a lot of laying around, a lot of relaxing. So I'm in the US and I came to visit my family. No, there's no rum in my tea. No, this is just, it's actually like a detox blend, trying to I haven't been drinking much really, or so eating not that great, but okay. But I've been out of my normal routine, so I'm trying to just kind of cleanse a little bit. And before I left the DR, I was doing a lot of green juices. I finally got my juicer down there. And so I was doing green juices with like kale and spinach and celery and cucumber and green apples and all this stuff. And I was really, really doing a nice cleanse. And now I'm in the US. I came to the US because my father's birthday was on June 27th. Tinley Park, Illinois. Good morning to you. Good morning. I don't know where that is. I know where Illinois is. But anyway. So it was my dad's birthday. He turned 80. So of course I had to come for my dad's birthday. So we had a big party for him. And then my uncle's birthday was yesterday, July 2nd. So why would I go back and miss my uncle's birthday? And then of course tomorrow's the 4th. And I was like, well, it's a holiday weekend. Might as well stay. So I'm seeing all the family, my dad's side mainly, cousins. Andrew's spending time with his cousins. There's a whole bunch of boys running around here. They're mostly sleeping now because, they stay up half the night and then sleep half the day. But we're planning some fun stuff. So I am in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. I'm in a little beach town. I went from my little beach town to this little beach town. LA, good morning, Los Angeles. You guys are on the south side of Chicago. Okay. LA, you're up early because it's only 9 something here, I think. Anyway, I'm a tea drinker because I prefer tea. Those of you who know me, who really know me, know that I prefer tea because it doesn't leave the aftertaste that coffee leaves. I don't like that coffee aftertaste in my tongue. Ugh. So this is clean. So you want to see where I am? It's a quaint little town. I mean, it's Rehoboth Beach. Those of you that know the eastern seaboard at all. So here we are. See? Looks like that. See the American flag? They got all that going. See that? It's a quiet little town. Little porch action here. So folks are here for the holiday weekend. Just like in my beach town, some people live here year-round, but many more come for the holidays. Just like in Las Arenas, it's low season there now, so usually it's just those of us who live there that are hanging out and a few visitors, but high season is, our high season is opposite. So here high season is summertime, down there high season is winter because everyone's trying to escape the cold. So I'm here, and I've been completely relaxing and sleeping and just taking it easy. So that is the topic of my video today. Because while I love you, I love you, I need some time for me. So just so you know, I've done over 200 videos. So you can get your fill when I'm on hiatus. Um, muchas gracias. Muchísimas gracias. I haven't forgotten my Spanish, mi español. So, so first of all, let me answer a couple of DR questions because people have written me and they've asked me about what's up with COVID and all this kind of stuff and the hurricane. So as far as the hurricane, I'm not there. You sent me a message. Okay, well, hello, everybody. I see all your messages. Yes, you guys have been writing me like, where are you? I'm here, I'm fine, everything's great. I'm just taking a break. Like, even I get a vacation. So the quick DR questions. There is it was Tropical Storm, was it Elsa, I think was the name of it, and they upgraded it to a hurricane recently. So I get emails from the State Department, U.S. State Department, that let me know, like, COVID stuff or what's happening with weather or just whatever I need to know, whatever they think I need to know, I should say. And so there has been the upgrade in the weather pattern recently, and we've noticed it here on the Eastern Seaboard too, like from D.C. where my family is, or Maryland really. And then we came up here. It's been raining on and off the whole time since I've been here. And I've been here over a week in this eastern area. And it's been raining on and off. Right now you can see it's beautiful sunshine. I went for a jog around the neighborhood yesterday and then onto the beach, and it started like sprinkling on me. So, and sometimes it's like pouring down. It was the exact same way. No, I'm not Dominican. Well, yeah, I think I'm medio Dominicana. Ahora casi Dominicana, pero no sé. But we're all cousins. The black diaspora thing. We are all familia. So I went for a run walk, really is what it was yesterday. And it was definitely overcast and cloudy, and it began to rain, and so it's the same thing like in the DR. That's how it was before I left there. So if you're planning a trip there in the near future, check and see. Doesn't mean you'll have no beach days, but you might have some days that are impacted by the weather. So that's that. But I mean, at least in terms of where I live, the hurricane tends to pass on the outer kind of edges. It doesn't. In the years that I've been there and the few before that I checked, there wasn't a whole lot of damage inland. Maybe a couple of broken windows, a couple of branches fell off the trees, but nothing really, really significant. That's not to say that it can't happen. Who knows, right? I'm not God, I don't know. But just check with your embassy or DR weather service, whatever it is. Just check and see. And you see the winds picking up here a little bit. Okay, and then COVID. So I looked at this just a little while ago. I think overall in the country, since the beginning of this thing, there have been like 320 something thousand reported cases of COVID. So they say. Of that, I think there are around 3,000, maybe a little bit fewer deaths, right? So most people have recovered. If they got it, they recovered. I know people in my town who had COVID, and they basically just stayed home for a couple of weeks. It was like having a bad flu, was what I was told, and then they were fine. One woman actually lost her sense of, I think, smell and taste. They're related, and that persisted for a while. And she's an older woman, so she just stayed home, and hers took a little while. The flu-like symptoms went away fairly quickly, but then the taste thing stayed with her for a while. But as far as I know, everybody's okay. Like I said, a few, maybe around 3,000 deaths, so not that bad. And recently, my understanding, I am not, the Ministry of Health or anything, obviously, but my understanding is that the numbers did spike a little bit in the DR, and that was mainly in the younger population, so 25 and under. And I believe that that's because, good morning, Danny. I believe that the younger folks experience a spike in COVID, not deaths necessarily, but diagnoses, because you know how it is when you're 25, you think, okay, nothing happened to you. You think you're invincible and whatever, and you may be out partying and hanging out. And they did relax the curfew quite a bit. So at least in my town, and so, in the beach towns, or some of the, not all the tourist areas, but mainly the beach areas, the curfew is much more relaxed. So for example, during the week, and I'm not positive that it's that way right now, I think so, but again, I've been gone for a while. But it's like during the week, the curfew was until, you could be out till 10 o'clock at night with a 2-hour grace period to get home. So if you're in a restaurant or at a bar having something to drink, it's not like, boom, 10 o'clock lights are out. You can kind of like filter out, So it was pretty lax. I mean, I wasn't out late hanging anyway. And then on the weekends, I might have it reversed. I think maybe it was 9 o'clock with a 3-hour grace period, and on the weekends, 10 o'clock with a 2-hour. Either way, basically, you had until midnight to get home, which really should be fine, people. It should be fine, you know? But in the capital, in the more densely packed cities, the curfew was a lot shorter. So I know one person who was visiting a few weeks ago, and he was in Santo Domingo, and the curfew was like 3 o'clock during the weekdays. So it was, you had no fun. 3 o'clock, and maybe there's some little grace period to get home. So if you're in, just know that if you're going to be spending time in Santo Domingo, Santiago, the places that are not beachy, where more people are more likely to be indoors, their curfew is going to be tighter. If you're at a beach community where there's a lot of outdoor activity, the curfew is more lax. Tell me about my email address. Listen, if anybody wants to contact me, if you don't know by now, maybe you're new, welcome. Reach me at freeislandgirl@gmail.com. Super easy. freeislandgirl@gmail.com. You can send me questions and what have you. I may direct you to my scheduling site because I have a lot of people now who are asking me for information about what about this and that. And so I will send you my scheduling link, and then you can get on the calendar and we can have a one-on-one conversation. So there's that. So that's how it's worked with COVID. Yeah, that's how it's worked with COVID in the DR in terms of curfew and all that. I have not personally felt restricted at all. In fact, when I came back to the US this time and I don't know, another time like during the past year or so, I almost felt guilty because we had so much freedom and I felt so relaxed. And some of you, if you've been watching for a while, you saw the beach videos where I was like walking down the beach all the time. Look like a swimmer, thank you. I'm trying to keep it together. I picked up a little weight, y'all. Eek. I got a little muffin top down low. Anyway, so I was taking my beach walks, and that really was my mental health. It was my mental and some of my physical health, because during the time that they had the gyms and everything closed, there wasn't much to do. So like I did a beach yoga video with a friend of mine. This was way back. And I just would always go out early in the morning and go for walks on the beach, and there was like nobody there. And technically, I believe the beaches were closed, so to speak, but I always went to like a really kind of tucked away, kind of private beach. So there was no one there anyway, or maybe a few folks out like walking their dogs early, or like me taking a little stroll. And I definitely got in the water and swam. I do have videos of that. If you haven't seen them, you can check those out. And it just was magical. It was wonderful. So that is how I handled COVID during that time. So if you are in a place where if you're visiting the DR and you are experiencing curfews, if you're in a beach community, of course consider that. If you're not in a beach community, I would do something like my email address, freeislandgirl@gmail.com. That's my email address. Okay. If you're at a hotel, I even go to the hotel gym. Hey Houston, go to the hotel gym. Go, take a walk around the blocks wherever you are. Just get out and see the sun and let your face feel the warmth and the sky. For me, like nature honestly got me through COVID, like almost like no problem. It was very comfortable. And I think even because there were so few people around out doing things, it was even better because I had like this whole sort of, at least in my mind, I had like the whole universe to myself. It was wonderful. And I'm very comfortable spending time by myself, so it was great. And then I had a few people, like a few friends that I could see every now and then. Not many, but a couple. You have your little tribe. And I would visit every now and then. And that was it. So it looks like we may be going through another series of that series, another another version, because this whole Delta variant, I don't know. I mean, I've certainly read about it. I've listened to some news stuff about it. That could be why there was a spike in terms of the younger people in the DR too. I don't know. There's still people who are firmly on the side of like, this is a major health issue, this is a crisis, everyone should be afraid, wear masks. And there are those people who feel like, we're good, wherever you fall on that spectrum is up to you, it's your decision. I do what I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it. Tina, hi. I can't even read all that right now. You're gonna have to write to me privately or schedule a session with me, Tina, okay? Your husband is Dominican. Well, bless you. and I wish you well. I don't know. Speaking of that, let's just touch on Dominican men for a minute. Can we? Can we just speak about Dominican men? Let's just go there. Let me sip my tea before I spill some for you. So Dominicans are beautiful. Physically, spiritually, lovely people. He said, uh-oh. Well, you know, like I said, let me sip my tea and get into the good stuff now. I'm gonna get back to self-care in a minute. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm having my tea, I'm having my moment in the morning. Self-care is critical. I was talking about that in terms of COVID, you guys. It's so important to get your rest and your outdoor time and whatever. Dominican men. Let's jump into this. So I know some Dominican men. And we'll talk about Dominican people in general. Let's just do the overview. Dominican people are lovely. They are physically some of the most beautiful people I've seen on the planet. Now, I haven't been everywhere, but I've been to a number of countries. I haven't been to Brazil, so I can't comment on them. I know Brazilians are also beautiful. I have been to Cuba several times. Cubans are also spectacularly beautiful. Here we go. Detour.
Hi.
This is one of the boys. This is my cousin, Troy. You done? Oh, no.
Never.
This one.
Never ever.
All right. So what you got to say to the people?
Hi.
He's all fresh. He just got the shower. So he's got the chains.
You know, blinked out. See this Lego? I know y'all wonder why I got Lego. This costs $1 billion. $1 billion.
Change, and braces. That's his drip. You get that right?
Drippy.
All right, I'm talking to my people.
Oh, well, bye-bye, people.
Go wake up. You need to get people up if we're gonna go bike riding or whatever. Or ask your mom. Go ask your mom. Are we doing bikes today? Are we going to the lake? Are we what are we doing? Are we going to Ocean City? I'm up for whatever it is. All right. We got family plans, you guys. Got family. Get the kids out and do some fun stuff. So, okay, so Dominicans are beautiful. A lot of beautiful people on the planet, but you know, it's a mix, right? So we have the beautiful, dark, black, gorgeous, smooth skin and the features. Ooh, wonderful. Amazing. Then you have the milk chocolatey ones, also delicious. The canela, like me. The lighter, more European looking. I mean, there's just a whole blend. Just like this is what black people are like, right? And Dominicans are black people. And I'm not getting into anything political and racial. I'm just saying we are a blend, just like black Americans or wherever else you may be from in the diaspora. We look a variety of ways. Fine. Gorgeous. And I will be the first one to say, lift this up, that I think personally, like when I first arrived in the DR about 5 years ago, I felt like, oh my gosh, Dominicans bring the level of good looking up. The bar gets raised. So if average is normally here, their average is way up here. So you need to step up your game if you're going to the DR. Let me tell you men something who are going down there to get these women. Yeah, there are plenty of beautiful ladies who will be, Poppy, all day long. Number one, you know, don't be fooled, right? This whole thing about they treat you like a king. Well, yeah, because you got dollars in your wallet, right? And same with women. It's like there is that dynamic. So anyway, lovely people, kind, will help you. And I'm talking about some people who may have the least. If you find yourself, like here's a perfect example. Before I came to the US, I went to a little beautiful beach about almost 2 hours from where I live. Condé Nast and some other like publications have called it one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So we took a drive out there one day. I posted a picture on my community page. It was like kind of overcast, but it was beautiful. We took a drive out there one day and just like beheld this amazing beach and had lunch and the whole bit. We were trying to park like in the sand to get a really great view, like close up of the beach. Bad idea. Bad idea in the dry sand. So we pulled the car forward, and of course the front tire got stuck, and it was just spinning. And I was like, oh my gosh. So before I could even get out of the car, 5 men just showed up. They just showed up out of nowhere. I don't even know. It's like when you eat and flies come, right? It was just amazing. These men were wonderful, and they came, and they just all were like, okay, push, and here's what you're gonna do, and turn your wheel this way. And so I love that, you know? I don't know that that would happen in the US, quite frankly. You'd have to go and say, hey, could someone, and then, you know, you could probably muster some folks, but it's different because there people are, the sense of community is very real, it's very alive. It doesn't matter who you are, what you have, your background, it just doesn't matter. Like they're just programmed to help one another, and I love that. So there is that sense of community, and again, sometimes the people who have the least offer the most. You can meet people who I've been invited to people's homes. Oh, come for dinner, and what do you need? And here's some coffee, and here's have some rum, and here's the food and all this stuff. And it's like, wow, but it's because they all help each other. So it's not a foreign concept to give. Giving is implicit. It's just what we do, right? I say we because I told you I'm media dominicana ahora. And I believe I like that. I believe in helping. So there's that. I think that these so-called developed countries, first world, I hate these expressions, but like in their archaic anyway, because first world doesn't apply anymore. That was like a World War II term, first world, third world, all that stuff. But the so-called more developed countries have a lot to learn, could stand to learn a whole bunch from some of the less developed so-called countries. Tripod slipping, in terms of how we treat one another, not putting profits over people, right? Like really caring about your neighbor, caring about what's going on in your community, caring about who's okay and who may need help, and the woman down the street is an elderly person whose husband died years ago, and does she have food? Does she have heat in the winter? That kind of stuff. Like, check on each other, people. This is what we need. So while the people may be financially poor, most of them, they are rich in spirit. And I feel like that counts a whole lot. And if I need someone to help me out, sure, someone who has money, that could come in handy, but someone who actually cares about me, cares, that's invaluable. So there's that. So love Dominicans for that. My tripod is slipping. Can you tell it's going down. They are also very romantic. They value love, affection, very affectionate. I think so, generally speaking. Let me close this door. Hold on. Oh, you hear that? Just close itself. The wind blew it. So there's a lot to be said for the goodness of Dominicans in that way. Let me just address this up front because people have said, I hear that they'll hustle you and everything. Ugh, stop with that. Of course there are people who hustle you. Of course there are, just like in your town and this town, and this is a wealthy little town. This is, the Joe Biden, right? The U.S. president, current president, is from here, is from Delaware. And I believe they have a home around here. I don't know exactly where it is, but this is supposedly wealthy financially, but it's not the most important thing. So Dominicans are wealthy in spirit and love and kindness, and I value that highly. I think it's really important. I think it's I think in some communities, some cultures, it isn't valued as highly as it should be. We don't care enough about each other. Okay, but let's get into the juice though, right? So Dominican men. I can't speak about the women. I'm a straight woman. I don't date women. I appreciate women who love each other. That's fine. And whoever you choose to love is your business. I'm not making commentary on that. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to do some viewers wrote to me a while ago and were like, hey, can you do something on gay people in the DR? And yes, I will. Let me just tell you this really quickly. I'm in Delaware right now. Yes, I'm in Rehoboth. I don't see a lot of openly gay people in the DR. Now, that may be a foolish statement because maybe they're gay and I just don't. It's like, what does gay look like, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see necessarily men who are sort of a more obvious couple the way you might see in the U.S. or women who are partners. They exist, of course, they exist everywhere, but it's not like an open thing that you see. I do know, I think of one guy in my town. He's very sweet, and he's like a bartender at this particular place and whatever. Whenever I see him, he's just the nicest guy. He's a young man. Pretty sure he's gay. I mean, he kind of fits the profile in terms of the stereotypical image of a gay man. He definitely does. Because he's just so sweet. He's one of those, you know what I mean? But a lovely guy. And so I was thinking I'm going to talk to him about what is that like? I mean, first I have to confirm that he's gay. I don't want to offend him. But if I'm right, and if he is gay, I'm going to ask him, like, what is it like? What's the culture like? I know that there are terms that are used kind of like to ridicule gay people. And so they call them pájaros, meaning bird, and I don't know why they call them birds, and when I say ridicule, it's not like, you're not gonna see anybody, well, I hope not, but I don't get the feeling ever that there's hostility, not like they're gonna kick someone's teeth in for being gay, they're gonna take them in an alley and beat them up. I don't ever get that kind of sense of religious beliefs, yeah. I never feel that. I never feel that anyone is threatened, even Haitians, and I know there's a whole thing about that, and I know there's definitely anti-Haitian sentiment. but I do not feel like anyone is at risk of being snatched and taken to some horrible place and butchered or beaten or anything like that, bludgeoned. I don't feel that way as a single woman. I have spoken to a lot of Haitians. I don't get the feeling that they have that sense, and I don't think that's what's happening with gay people either. You know, of course, there's people who got gay people in their families. Like, it's just, gay is normal. Gay is a variation of normal, right? So whether you're transgender, transsexual, I mean, in my view, what I call normal is heterosexual. And I say that because anatomically, there is a fit, right? One thing fits into the other, right? So I think biologically and anatomically, we are designed to be heterosexual. It's not a judgment call. Whoever you love is your business. You like it, I love it. Whatever. And then there are variations of that, right? And so maybe it's two women, or maybe it's this whole thing about, I feel like I was born in the wrong body. I don't know what that's like. I have no idea what it would be like to be born as I am now, but feel like I'm really supposed to be a man. I think that's got to be incredibly difficult. And so someone mentioned about religion in the DR. Yes, it is a Christian Catholic country. Everything they say is infused with the word God. So, how are you doing? I'm doing great, thanks to God. Gracias a Dios. Siempre, all the time. Or, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, God willing, si Dios quiere. So God is everywhere. Like the concept of, being subject to what God wants, giving thanks to God, recognizing God in everything. It is all over the place. It's on the radio, it's on the TV. It is absolutely infused in like the political beliefs. It's just seeped in the culture. I happen to like it because I am a believer, and I like feeling that there's a compass, right? That lets me know people have, at least to some extent, a moral compass. Because if you, in my opinion, are a believer in God, then there are certain things are off the Richter. Like, you better not venture over into the territory of harming people and lying and deceiving, because there is someone to answer to. So there's that. Now, how does that play out in terms of gay people or whatever? And frankly, heterosexual people who are doing all kinds of crazy stuff, right? It's si Dios quiere, yeah, it's God willing. Si Dios quiere literally means if God wants, right? If it's God's desire, if God willing is how we say it in English usually. So I would imagine, because of the whole religious thing, religion has been used to put its thumb on people for a long, long time to control populations. So so gay people couldn't just come out and be open about how they felt about one another, or I'm sure transgender, even harder, right? I don't know a lot about that because it never really comes up in conversation. It doesn't really come up for, it's not, as I said, something that's open in the culture. Are there, like, for example, is there a gay club in town? I have no idea. I'm sure it's quite underground if there is. Again, though, I don't feel that there's any sense of hostility toward gay people, but it's an interesting topic, and I will look into it when I go home. Okay? Now, as far as the heterosexual people, if you don't know by now, let me be the one to inform you that, in particular, the men, right? Dominican men have a reputation for being scoundrels and cheaters and liars and deceivers and all that type of stuff, and for having the wife, then the mistress, then the girlfriend, then the side piece. Like, that's just a common thing that people say, well, you got to know what you're getting into. And I would not disagree with that. That being said, I think that a lot of men there are, I'm going to use the word committed, and I'm going to qualify it there. They're committed to their families, meaning that they may not divorce their wife. They may take care of the bills and all that. And by the way, a lot of Dominican men have told me specifically that, Dominican women, they find me like a breath of fresh air because, I have a career and I'm not dependent upon a man to pay for my anything. But a lot of Dominican women, and I'm not speaking so much about professional women, but just sort of the average woman who's maybe a stay-at-home mom or whatever, or maybe has like a more sort of a traditional job doing something where she doesn't make a lot of money. The women basically Dominican women look to Dominican men to pay for them. Nails, hair, clothes, take care of the kids, all that type of stuff. And so the men are like, they find it kind of, I think repulsive is too strong, but it's the turnoff to them because, they don't want to be viewed for just their money. Okay, openly gay. Please write that to me in an email, Tina, so I can see that later. So, and I get it I can only imagine what, you know, man's point of view is, but I get what they're saying, that they don't want to be viewed as just a paycheck, right? As a meal ticket. I mean, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want some man to just be coming around me. Let's say it's sex. Let's say he only wants to be around me because sex. Well, you know, that's going to get old really quick. Even if I do like him and I am attracted to him, if that's all there is to it, you know, it's like there's no kind of substance. So I get the argument that Dominican men make about, oh, the women just want us to pay for everything. Okay, so there's that. That being said, though, I don't know what the statistics are in terms of divorce. I don't think there's a lot of divorce in the DR. I think in terms of modern families, modern couples, it's more likely to happen versus, you know, all of us who have our grandparents and stuff and who stayed, like, whose grandparents ever got divorced? That kind of didn't exist, right, generations ago. It was very uncommon. And so people just lived the way they lived. And so a lot of current Dominican families, well, you may have the men who still provide for the families, but they definitely are going to have someone on the side. And the woman on the side knows about it. Obviously, she usually does. And even the wife will know about it, but it's like, yeah, well, as long as he's paying the bills and whatever, she can deal with him. So there's that. There's also the notion, ladies, be careful, because there's also this thing about, are men married, right? So they'll use the word married. Casado is the word for married for men. So if you ask a man, ¿estás casado? Are you married? They may tell you no. And they may not be legally married, but they use the word kind of with some flexibility. So they may not be legally married, but they're living with someone, or they have a very significant other with whom they have children, or what have you. So just be aware of like the degrees of availability, the degrees of commitment that men may be involved in. And I guess it goes for women too, but I'm speaking from a woman's point of view. Dominican men pride themselves on being great lovers. They definitely want to be able to please a woman. They want to know that you enjoy their company. And so I don't know how these brothers do it, if they're like trained from an early age at like how, like what to do, what buttons to press and all this kind of stuff. But I have some Dominican male friends, and I've had some very intimate conversations with them where I ask very pointed questions. And so they tell me, you know, like, yeah, it's like they like that reputation of being the Latin lover and being able to seduce a woman. And good morning. It's pleasant. It's pleasant. Yeah.
Shower.
Are we doing bike riding or what?
Yeah. I mean, everyone's up except for Ellis and Andrew.
Okay, well, I'll be in a bit, and I'm gonna go for a run, and then we'll do that too. Yay! Troy's already showered. It's my cousin. She's not fit for camera right now. Not yet. It's morning time. So the men, Afro population, toxic relationships. Common law, right? So it's like a common law marriage. That's why I'm saying be careful. Don't, you know, you have to know somebody. You have to understand what the deal is. I have a friend right now who, he swears to me he's not married. And I'm like, okay, you're not married, but you are involved with someone, and he doesn't want to admit this to me. And I'm like, why? I don't know what the deal is. So he says he lives alone. I believe him. I've never been to his home. I believe he lives alone, I guess, but I think he has a very kind of complicated relationship with the mother of one of his children. He has a number of children. And he said he told me he's twice divorced. And I don't know if his first marriage was like a legal marriage. I don't think so, because this guy's pretty young. And the second well, what he's calling a marriage is, hi, Boris. I think he's one of those where it's like he uses the term married or divorced kind of loosely, meaning that he may have lived with these women, but, you know, and he had some kids with them, 2 with one and 1 with the other. You know, but there's still like, there's an entanglement, and they're entangled. So just be careful, ladies, is what I'm saying. If you want to have a good time, you want to have some good sex, you want to feel like you're being appreciated as a woman, absolutely enjoy a Dominican man. You want commitment and fidelity and honesty and all that stuff, be careful with that. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. And men, kind of the same. It's a little bit different because of the dynamic, right? But these women who are out here like, ah, papi, and they love you, and same thing, great lovers, and they know how to please a man, and sexually you probably have a great time and feel really good, and they can cook for you. Speaking of cooking, girls, ladies, Dominican men can cook. I mean, throw down. They cook wonderful food. And I've realized that man after man after man that I've been talking to recently, like, they all have these skills. And I was like, wait a second. So it's not so true that only the women are handling, hit the like button. Only the men, or sorry, only the women are doing like the domestic duties. Definitely women are more like traditional women, right? You know, traditional women's roles where they are taking care of family and traditionally kind of managing the household. That's still kind of true. But a lot of Dominican men know how to cook, and I mean cook well. Fresh, natural ingredients, flavorful, the whole bit. So don't let them think don't let them make you believe that they can't cook, ladies. So for men, if you're going to the DR and you're like, oh, I want to, get a little mommy and all that stuff, yeah, you can. But understand that, again, she may have somebody at home, and he may know that she has you as a boyfriend, whether a temporary one or whatever. Or let's say you're going back and forth to another country and sending money. Rest assured, she has a man. She probably has a family. And it's just what happens because, people need to eat. They need to take care of themselves and their families. So while you may be treated like a king, don't be naive. Do not be naive, gentlemen. Good morning. So yeah, and they're going to be beautiful. They're going to have beautiful bodies. And women are women, right? There's no perfection. So everyone has what they have. But Dominican women do take pride in their appearance. So they're going to want to have their hair done and have something nice on. And they do want to have, look sexy for you and all that type of stuff. So if you're into that, like a lot of men are, of course, you'll have yourself a great time down there. But do not fall, don't be stupid. Don't believe that that it's all about you and that somehow you've come now and what you're offering, you got the best D, or you got the best, you have more money, or please, there's an endless stream of visitors to this country, an endless stream of visitors who are all coming, all believing that they have whatever it is, male and female, to possibly change the way the culture operates. No, ladies, no, gentlemen, that's not what's going to happen. If you want to go have a nice experience, have one. Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe you'll find a needle in the haystack and it's going to be something different. Wish you well. Wish you well. But don't set yourself up for believing that you're going to be the one to change the way this culture has been operating for decades, centuries even, So go enjoy yourselves. Do they lie? Of course they do. Ladies, this is not just Dominican men. Men lie. People lie, right? So yeah, they're gonna lie. They're gonna tell you what you want to hear. They're gonna tell you what you want to hear, either to get what they want, or because they want to have, a stress-free, enjoyable relationship with you, whether it's for a night or a week or 6 months or a year, like whatever it is. That's kind of how it goes. So as long as you can operate under those circumstances, then you're good. Have I found love? I wouldn't say I found love. I have some very nice friends I've dated, and I have some relationships with men there that omitting the truth is lying. That's right, selective truth telling. This is very true. So I have some male friends down there that I really enjoy because I get to have these kinds of conversations with them, and they'll tell me like really openly like what goes on. So I like that. But am I in love with a Dominican man? No, not presently. No, I wouldn't say that. Nope. And I'm just clear. So I think for me, I've gotten to the point where I understand how this works. So I have clarity on the subject, and I'm not tripping. I get it. So I can date freely, openly. I'm not worried about what they're doing because I get to have the date with the next guy the next day too, right? And so, yeah. The other thing that's really interesting about there, this is kind of nice because I think, I don't know about in like Canada or Europe so much, but the notion of age, appropriateness of age, it's not such a big deal down there because you'll see couples where he may be much younger and, or she, I'm still kind of grossed out, I have to say, when you see the much, much older men, like crinkly, old, nasty, and often cases the European men with the young, beautiful brown girls. That bothers me because it strikes me as very opportunistic, very predatory, that the girls don't have much of a say, right? They're with these men by and large because they're getting some type of money, usually probably far less than, what is their worth, right? What's the value of a human? But you know what I'm saying? It's like they're getting a pittance probably compared to what they're having to give up for these men. So that I don't like. But in terms of like, I don't know if I'd say more of a normal relationship, but like, yeah, I guess dating. That I feel like that's the predatory thing I think is disgusting, but I'm talking about like dating. Like if you're actually seeing somebody on a regular basis the age thing doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So I've had guys, plenty of them in their 20s. I'm in my 50s, right? In their 20s, who were like, and people don't know I'm in my 50s because I don't think I look like it. But they were like, I don't care. One guy said to me, and I was like, oh no, we can do, I can't date you, right? We could just be friends. And he's like, why would you let that influence you? And he doesn't know how old I am. This guy is like 28, I think. And he was like, well, why can't we have a relationship? And I was like, because you're so young. And he's like, well, why would you let that influence you? And I will say in that moment, I was like, huh, good point. Why would I? He's not my son. He's not related to me. Like, he's a grown man. This particular man has children. So he's like had a whole life and everything. But the point is, they're very open. I've had men in their 30s, 40s, whatever, 50s, 70s. I had a 70-year-old, this was a European guy, who enjoyed my company and my intellect and all that stuff. So wanted to take me to some dinners. So I've dated or gotten to know a variety of men of different ethnicities and cultures and ages, and nobody really cares. Nobody cares. I do think it has to do, frankly, with the fact that I take care of myself and I look good. You know what I mean? So there's an attractive quality there. I've had a lot of younger men tell me that they prefer older women because we're not silly and stupid, and we kind of know what we want, and we're just not for the BS. And so some young guys like older women for that reason, just like some older men prefer younger women because they feel like it's going to help, sort of restore their youth, or they still feel virulent or whatever. I don't know. Or virile, what's the word? So it's just a matter of you and who you meet and what you choose to do, what you choose to open yourself up to. So why not? If you like a guy or a woman who's in a different age bracket from you, and here's my caveat though, I will say this. If you just want to, go to dinner with someone or take a walk on the beach or just get to know a person, like legitimately get to know them and have a nice time, why not? Who cares? Meet someone of a different generation. Maybe you learn something. Maybe it'll open up your perspective, right? I do not, and I will not endorse or encourage predatory behavior or like, hey, or, and obviously not mistreatment, not taking advantage of someone, right? Whether it's because of their age or their culture or the fact that you may have had more opportunity in life and so you're going to kind of take advantage of them. That's not cool. That's never going to be cool no matter where you are. So, but in terms of dating Dominican people, yeah, I mean, they're beautiful. And, the Dominicans, they're very good at having a good time, music, food, drinks, just enjoying life. You will have ay papi all day long. Exactly. Ay papi, for sure. And everything's mi amor, So if you want to just enjoy yourself, perfect. Go enjoy yourself. Age is a factor. Could be. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I would never delude myself thinking, oh, I'm going to, marry a 25-year-old. Like, no, fling, hey, do what you want to do. But that's what I'm saying. If you're interested in like genuinely getting to know a person and having a friend, why not? Why wouldn't I have a 25 or 35-year-old friend here? What's the difference? I think it's just good for people to know one another. I don't think it's good to isolate. That's like saying I'm not going to have any white friends. Like, why would I do that? That's stupid. I'm not going to have any Asian friends. No, I'm friends with people that I like, and you should be too. Don't fool yourself. Maintain honest, reasonable expectations. Exactly, Tina, right? Be clear about what you're getting into. That's why I gave you the caveats up front, so that you can know when all that mi amor starts, because everybody's mi amor, which means my love, right? Ay, mi amor, mi reina, oh, cariño. They're absolute professionals at sweet talking. And this applies to men and women. You'll hear everybody, like the taxi driver could say, mi amor, and he's not being fresh. They're just like that loving, open kind of, they have that way about them. And so, and you know how it is, if someone's always complimenting you or speaking to you in sweet, sweet tones, you're more likely to go along with the program, to agree with them, to just kind of let things flow. And so I was like, wait a second, this works beautifully for them. Let me try it. And guess what? So I started saying, mi amor, cariño, to some people I know, right? And sure, it's like, of course it works. Everyone likes to be spoken to sweetly and softly, right? They say, what's that old saying? You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. It's true. So it is the way they express themselves. I think it's beautiful. I love that about the culture. That's why I said they're sweet, they're kind people, they're just loving by nature. And so, and even like if there's a disagreement often, the way they'll do it is just they put the sweet on top of it. Now they may have no intention of doing whatever it is you want them to do, or being at a place on time, or showing, you know, whatever, but they do it in a way, it's a gentle letdown kind of thing. So I have love for that. Your wife is Dominican, all right, so you got some love in your life then. So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of love for Dominican men. Some people ask me, would you ever marry a Dominican man? I mean, that's so hypothetical. I don't know. He would have to be, would I ever marry a French man or an American man or a black man or what? Means like I would marry a man who, number one, treats me right. Number one, right? You got to be a good person, and we have to have similar values, right? So in terms of that, people wanting to know, well, you know, should I consider this? What are your values? What is most important to you? If it's honesty and, you know, someone who's hardworking or fun-loving or sense of humor, like whatever the things are, you have to figure that out for yourself and then know, okay, honestly, not because of what you want to believe, but what's actually happening, does that person match up with what it is that you want? That's how I think anyway. So I would marry who matches me in that way. And not exactly right. There's got to be hopefully some differences, because to bring something new to the party, I'll bring something new to your party. That's what I have to say about that. Anything else? Let's sip my tea. My tea's getting cold. Oh, I know. I started out by saying this was the topic of this video is self-care. And I mentioned that because, hang on, this tripod, watch, if I leave it alone, it sinks. If I leave, sorry, self-care, that's what I was saying. So self-care, I've taken some time, like a couple of weeks now, to just chill. It's falling down. To just chill out. I was tired. You guys, I did 200 something videos. Oh, by the way, did you see I posted? I had over 1 million views on my channel. Oh my gosh, 1 million views. I can't even really conceive of how much that is. That's a lot. It's a lot of views. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you guys for sending the love and sharing all the joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, it's a work in progress. I'm not a professional, as you see when my camera starts going down. You know, this is my little on the road tripod. I don't have my real one with me. But I enjoy doing this. I enjoy sharing information with people. I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy exposing parts of my life, not everything. Oh, Rio San Juan is beautiful. Your wife is from. I enjoy sharing, you know, my experience with you, whether it's for inspiration for people who want to try to live someplace else in the world and maybe a single parent, take your child with you, what that's like. You know, I spent some of the past few weeks just spending time with my son. It was the end of the school year. And so we had a good time. People had a really nice experience with the vineyard experience. Those of you who are asking, it was really, really wonderful. They had a great time. And so you're welcome, Paul. So self-care is important. So yeah, I was like, I'm tired. I don't have anything else to say right now. I want to be quiet and mind my business and not be on camera, not film every aspect of my life. So I share a fair amount. Of course, I don't share everything because it's my life. But I really, really, really needed it. And I just like laid in the bed a bunch and like relaxed and hung out with some friends and dated and just had some fun. I've just been doing me. So nothing to worry about. You know, but I encourage you, if you are feeling burnout at any point, take some time, you know, and period. I was like, people are fine. When I come back, I'll come back with something to say and, you know, and just share my love. My email address, again, is freeislandgirl@gmail.com. Simple. It's Free Island Girl. I'll post a link in the description box when I'm done talking. I'll also post a link for scheduling if you want to ask me questions. People are always writing me asking me about what about COVID and what about real estate and what about whatever, residency, all that type of stuff. Schedule an appointment with me and we can talk, okay? For those of you who've already done that, thank you. You know, I have them in either 15 or 30-minute increments. We don't need a whole hour. We don't need a whole hour. Be focused. Come to me and listen, you know, what is it, 1, 2, 3? If you have questions you want to ask me, no problem. But that's how I do that, okay? Because I had so much, what is it, like interest and input and people asking me things, I had to like set some parameters because it was just getting to be bananas, which is why I took a break, frankly, because I just had so much going on with my various jobs and being a mom and new things I'm working on and clients, and you know, I needed a break. So anyway, that's it, but I'm doing great. Time is money, exactly. Like, I can't sit up here all day long and do this, you know? And I will tell you, let this be a lesson to those of you who are thinking about whether it's starting a business or valuing your time, valuing what you offer people. Don't be afraid to put a price on it, because if I didn't, people would literally wear me out. And I don't mean to speak ill of anyone. I'm just saying, though, that if I don't value myself, how would anyone else value me? And, you know, I have people who write all the time still, and they're asking questions. And, you know, sometimes I maybe just shoot a quick answer, right? There's no need to have like a 30-minute conversation for something super quick. And I will do that. And obviously here, it's like all this free content. But if someone has like very particular questions and they want to know something, you know, like set up an appointment. I'm not going to just stop my life and, you know, give everything, and, you know, no. So that's what I have to say this morning. Just wanted to hop on and let you see I'm well. I'm very well. I'm happy. Life's great. Spending time with my family. The beach is in Delaware. It's so funny because I went running yesterday and I did a little bit of through town. There's a lake nearby and also on the beach. And when I was on the beach, I was like, ugh. Like the water is greenish brown. We're not in the Caribbean. And it's cold. It's not, it's July now, so you would think that would be warm, actually hot. But this morning anyway, there's a really beautiful breeze. I don't feel any humidity in the air. It's lovely, which is why I need to go run while it's still good out here. But no, I mean, beach, come on. I live by a beach. I live by many beaches, and they are glorious, beautiful, beautiful. And I don't even live on the Caribbean side. The Caribbean's like amazing, amazing. That's the south part of the country. I live on the northeastern side, but still, it looks like the Caribbean. It's the Atlantic. And so I'm now spoiled because, you know, beach to me is like everything's blue, gorgeous trees, rolling hills. I mean, it's fabulous. So yeah, but there's also nothing like home. You know what, you guys, I missed home. I missed my family. I missed my community. I missed my people. I needed to be with my people. So I had a lot of time to be with family lately, and it's been good. So I feel recharged, rejuvenated. Yeah. All right, I think that's good for this morning, you guys. I love you. Send me love, please. You know what? Would you guys send me some super love for, like, I have something in the works I'm really excited about. Can't disclose it right now, but I'm very hopeful. Oh, I know. One more thing. There are those of you who wrote to me and asked me about the abundance group, and I said I was going to do one in June, and then I was like, no, I need time to just chill. I think I'm going to do one, but like maybe 5 people, like a really small, very focused group. Only like I said, about 5 people, and I'll take you through a different kind of experience where it's much more personalized and we work together. I'm not going to do a big group. Like we had 20-something people in the last group, which was great. So if you're interested in doing an abundance group on a much more private focus level, write to me at freeislandgirl@gmail.com and we'll talk about it. I'm not promising yet, but I was thinking about that, right? This is also to preserve my energy and what I need from me. So I love you guys. Mwah. Peace out. Have a great day. I'm good. Got on my gear. I'm gonna go run, and then we're gonna take the family out and have some fun. Okay? Guys, have a great day. Love you. Mwah. Bye.